Ready.
Hey guys, welcome to NicKey Performance of Loves Park. Today I've got a couple of special ZL1s here in the background that I'm going to go over for everybody. They are our most popular packages, and I will be explaining those packages and what it takes to make the power and how quick these cars can run on the track. So without further ado, here we go. So we have NicKey ZL1 Super Camaro number 3 and NicKey ZL1 Super Camaro number 4. I'm going to start out with number 4. This car has actually won some national events for us, as well as a overall national championship in a certain racing class. The car has over 300 drag strip runs. It's been driven from central Illinois all the way to Arizona with 2 passengers and luggage and back, and averaged well into the 20s as far as miles per gallon. And the car just runs phenomenal. This car was set up to run right on a 10.0 index in the heat of summer, you know, all day long. And I'll go over how consistent this car is at running 10.0 at about 140 miles an hour. It's best run driven 3 hours to the track on a regular day. With drag radials, it's run a 979 at 139 miles per hour. There's certainly more in it on a mineshaft cold DA day sometime in the fall or early spring. This is a pump gas car, and it has our stage 2 package, which basically means it has heads and a cam, or valve train work and a cam. This particular car does not have ported heads. It has our NicKey stage 1 camshaft. It has our proprietary NicKey edition 2-inch primary headers to a 3-inch X pipe into 3-inch primaries, intermediary pipes, which actually go to a stock exhaust system on this particular car. The transmission is the stock 10-speed automatic. When we race it, it does have a track pack, and we're actually getting ready to make this car a little bit quicker. But this car has been running on pump gas. It makes approximately 780 horsepower to the rear wheels. It features a Magnuson 2650 supercharger, which we like, not only because it makes the power, but it makes the power on less boost, which means we get to control the heat a little bit better with the car. And this car is road raceable, which we do with our cars, and I'll discuss that in a little further detail. Actually, I have the evil twins, as they're referred to, I have them mixed up. So this one is number 3 and the other one is number 4. And we number the cars, and we put serial number badges in the A pillar, which I will show you. So if you ever want to know if there's an authentic NicKey car, one, you can call us and give us what is supposed to be the serial number, but we put a serial number in the A pillar of the car. Interesting that these 2 cars are absolutely identical cars. They're 2017 ZL1 Camaros built by Chevrolet. This color was only available for a small portion of 2017, and I believe only 127 ZL1s got this color combination. These cars have identical options from the factory, fully loaded up cars, and they're only a few hundred VIN numbers apart. So this is the famous former Norm Jensen car, and Norm's the guy that he raced it in drag week, raced it in sick week, raced it in NMCA, Chevy Street Car Challenge, and drove the car all over the country without issue, and it was dead consistent. I think his best finish was he had a best of class of 4th overall in the 10-0 class at Drag Week a few years ago, and car is just a ton of fun. I'm going to show you what it looks like under the hood, where you get that open. One of the differences between the two cars is that the number 4 car, which we just had at 6th Summer this year, and we had it there last year as well, and it just ran very, very consistent. We did the DYO class, which is dial your own index class, and that class starts at 10.0 and slower, and we dialed in at the 10.0 index and averaged about a 10.1 over 2 years of running. 10 runs, 10 tracks, 2 different years, and still averaged 10.1, which is a pretty cool thing to do. You know, very consistent. Again, we ran it on pump gas. I'll talk about that car a little bit more later, because that car there, the number 4 car, actually has some additional upgrades, and it is a lot quicker than the 10.0 index, but we dialed it down a little bit to run that class. And the reason we do that is because there's no license required. Any of our customers can get out there and run 10.0. There's no additional equipment. You do need some good sticky tires in order to achieve those results. And you know, in today's world, 10.0 doesn't seem that super fast when there's cars from the factory that are running in the 9s, but those are limited individual runs on the right day at the right time. I can tell you that there were over 300 cars registered for 6th Summer this year, very similar to last year, and we achieved the top 100 fastest cars running 10.0s. In fact, this year we achieved the quickest 58. So we were the 58th fastest car out of over 300 entries at 6th Summer. So running 10.0s in a complete street car, no weight reduction other than the drag pack, full air conditioning, full stereo, etc., etc. It's pretty cool. It was a lot of fun, and we beat a lot of cars from other manufacturers that were set up similarly. 1, we were consistent, and 2, we were, you know, pretty quick. So the Magnuson 2650 here on number 3, you get an idea. We use the larger Nick Williams throttle bodies, billet throttle bodies. We use the Rotofab 5-inch tubes, which help these cars breathe. You know, again, if you can get these cars to breathe and move more air and fuel via also smaller pulleys, you are going to make more power. But very, very stock under the hood, pump gas, about 780 rear wheel horsepower, and a best of 979 at 139 miles an hour. And it did that driving to the track. I mean, on a nice cool day, this car would probably run 950s, 960s, you know, if the track is cooperating. So it's still a fairly quick car on pump gas. We are getting set up to getting ready to port injection this car with our favorite port injection system. It's the 2-high PSI port injection system, and the key really is fueling. When you need to up the horsepower, you've got to get fuel into the engine, and the port injection system allows us to do that. I won't go into detail on this video on how that works, but we are very, very happy with what the team at 2-high PSI has done, as they've allowed us to build these cars and use them for multiple types of track events without issue. This car it features a 15-inch drag pack. So to do that, we had to change the rear calipers and some of the rear controlling and trailing arms in order to get the 15-inch wheel, but we're able to use a 325 50R15 Mickey Thompson drag radial. So that's going to help us get more power to the ground on this car once we up the power load. It's going to help this car go really, really quick. So this particular car has been, it has the same setup, but for a few minor things, but for it has the 2 high PSI port injection system already installed. It has 2650 Magnuson. It has our stage 1 cam, identical cams. It's got the same header package. This one does have the full American Racing header NicKey Special Edition exhaust. This is running a 17-inch track pack. And the reason for the difference is the more sidewall that you can get, the more weight transfer, and weight transfer is paramount in trying to hook up these 4,000 plus pound vehicles. But also it allows the footprint as it squats to get bigger, and we can get more rubber with the smaller wheel like we did with the 15 on the other car. But in this case, we can still use this car for road racing track events where all we need to do, we don't have to change the rear brakes or the calipers. We can bolt our 19-inch wheel setup with road race wheels on it, change the alignment, change the pulleys, and go road racing, and put a whoop ass on the likes of Porsches, Ferraris, Vipers. I mean, anything you can throw at it. In the hands of a skilled and competent driver, these ZL1s at about 750 wheel horsepower even on a big long track like Road America will just eat up the competition. I mean, we go there and we end up, we're just eating up dedicated track cars, you know, and again, with full weight air conditioning, you know, ready to go. So this particular car, as we talked about already, has the port injection system installed. We can now run E85 fuel, which helps us make a lot of power. And because the fueling system supports it, we can run smaller upper pulley and belt change, which is real simple to do on these cars. It takes about, 10 minutes max. And we had about 200 wheel horsepower by changing the pulley and going E85. And we can get these cars to 1,000 plus wheel horsepower. And with a 17-inch track pack, these cars are capable, or this car has run low nines at 151 miles an hour. And again, that's on an average day here in the Midwest. On a perfect track day with a negative DA below sea level, this car would probably run right at a 9.0. And with the 15-inch drag pack and leaving in second gear, we have enough horsepower to run in the 8s, and you can drive it to the track and drive it home. Very, very reliable. We found these transmissions, if they're tuned properly, can live at that horsepower number. This particular car has over 50 drag strip runs, and I would say 6 or 7 road race track days on it. The road race track days are actually take a bigger toll, and because you're out for 20-minute sessions, and you normally do 3 to 5 sessions a day out on the road course, and it really, really takes a lot out of these cars. This other car here on the stock transmission had over 300 drag strip runs. Now the engines are, this particular engine is completely stock. We have never taken it apart. We've never opened it up, other than it's got our ported heads and the cam and cam kit and the supporting mods. This other car here, we did take the engine apart and blueprint it. We set it up to our specs and standards. We built it early on, and we did use some upgraded hardware, ARP main studs. We opened up the cylinder bores just a little bit, the ring gaps just a little bit, and this car has been great. Like I said, over 300 drag strip runs all across the country on this particular car. And you can get in these cars and drive them anywhere. So I'm going to let you hear what they sound like. They're not radical. They've got a really good low. But yeah, just turn the key, they fire right up. Nice idle, great sound, and when you're on the gas, they sound unbelievable. I mean, at the racetrack, going down the track, at the road course, these cars sound way better than most of our competition. I mean,